To the start, I would like to introduce a little bit myself. I work in ABA Group performing different roles, independent of projects, business analyst, product owner, process developer, Camunda expert, and so on. I have a certificate, Camunda engineering certificate, and for last year I have worked closely with Camunda platform, and I am with my team responsible for developing our service based on Camunda platform. So for the start, my presentation, I would like to give you some little prehistory about this use case. We all understand the routine of HR processes of departments, and when we use a lot of flows of people's documents, statements, orders, such of a place to sign some documents, it's so really crazy, and it looks like endless horror that only HRs know about. So, and now imagine April 2020, coronavirus that breaks complicated processes. It's even impossible to schedule some meetings with the employees to sign documents, to communicate each other, etc. And on the one hand, the coronavirus did for our life a lot of negativity, but on the other hand, it opened up many business opportunities. In particular, in that moment was born our project of remote onboarding employees for IT company. So the challenge was to organize the process of remote requirement taking into according a lot of regulations and the impossibility of arranging face-to-face meetings with the candidate. On the slide, you can see the process, diagram of the process that was before we start working on the process. This diagram is. As you can see, the process is very big and very difficult. The HRs has a lot of routine tasks that only know about it, that only know responsible for it. And all members of the process didn't understand who and what is the moment responsible for some actions in this process. On the other hand, was what a difficulty to this process, that the process must have a lot of different systems that HR works, and it's give some complexity to this process. When we start working with this project, so first of all we create this diagram as is, and then we analyze this diagram, analyze some points and actions of members of this process. We think about what we can automate, what we can improve, and in the end of this process architecture overview, you can see on the screen we use a lot of connectors that help improving the process and make this process more efficiently. For example, we use SendGrid connector. We use a lot of web application forms that integrate in new process. Our customer works with Lotus Notes, so you know that system very old and not very flexible to changing. We also use here our new connector EasyRPA that we created. We use here S7, S3 connector and some specific models of AI. So, of course, of this process, we analyze and we improve this process using EasyRPA platform, because using this connector EasyRPA, we can automate a lot of human tasks that work that made by our HR employees. And using EasyRPA connector, we have document recognition and data extraction from candidate documents. And during the process, using this connector, we can validation data. And of course, in this case, is Camunda showed its power and possibilities. All endpoints of this process we can make in one process, and we can analyze and monitoring progress of the process. We can see running of the process, and we can understand what candidate is, what step is, who responsible of these steps, etc., etc. Also, we have analyzed analyze efficiency of this process, and we using this a lot of connectors in our process. We also see more flexibility and adaptability of Camunda platform. So it gives us a lot of opportunities to integration with other systems. And in the end, automation of this process allowed us to reduce some number of human errors and increase efficiency of the process in all. And now results of this project. First of all, it should be noted that due to automation of this process with use Camunda platform, we reduce the average time of onboarding on one employee from several days to only 4 hours. Much of this or little, anyway, it's had a big impact on a few more pleasant sets. This increased the reputation of the company, because the company quickly responded on the changes environment and was able to build a new process. This in turn increased staff satisfaction, increased employee net promoter score by 8%, but that's pretty significant number because of considering the size of the company. Using the RPA platform, we were able to correctly recognize and classify about 85% of documents, candidates' documents. And finally, we reduced the document reruns by 67%. Thanks to this, we have greatly accelerated the onboarding process at minimum human costs. So, and as I mentioned earlier, this process itself was created on Camunda 7, and however, in 2022, Camunda released the flagship powerful product Camunda 8. Given the fact that sooner or later all we need to upgrade the version of the product, we developed the process of the new version, Camunda 8. And I would like to show you a little bit demo using Camunda 8. And this process now is not in production, but I would like to demonstrate the huge potential of the new platform. For demonstration, we created a simple process to understand that the process was understandable for all participations of our event. It's not real one. We use here just sample forms just to show you, show data capturing. We use here not all of connectors, only C connectors, for example. And so on the screen you can see now the simplified process diagrams that we created in Camunda. I would like to show you in the demo some more details about 3 connectors that we use in our process demo, only about SendGrid, webhook connector, and of course our EasyRPA connector that we created with our team. So, and now I would like to demonstrate this project. I would like to show you our demo. So it's a simple diagram. So you can see this simple process. So here in this process, we have only 3 members, or 3 actors of the process. Is candidate, HR, and EasyRPA platform. All these actions are orchestrated by Camunda platform. So so it's really very easy to start. We go to the, just a moment, to the task list. So find our process and start process. At the start process, HR must give information about candidate to our system. For example, I would like to start this process to Alex, for example, okay? So Alex, Alex will work on the Wrocław, on the second department from, for example, 20 June. And so this is email box, our Alex. So, and the process has started. Then we can go to the operate to see running the process. Just a moment. Operate instances. Find our process. And we can see that the instance go to the process diagram. Here we start, just a moment. We start a project, our process from filling the form. Then we can see that Camunda sent to candidate, to Alex, via mail using SendGrid connector some email. So go to the Alex email box, and you can see here that SendGrid sent the email for our candidate. This is first email that HR sent to candidate. So and in this email we ask future candidate fill out onboarding form and submit requirements document. The candidate will go to the link, and he can see the form, web form, and must to fill this form. For example, Poland, city Wrocław, some address, some contact number, and the candidate must give for our process her identified identity document. For example, it will be, just a moment, it will be ID card, for example. So where is our Alex? ID card. Okay, I agreed with all these boxes, and I will send the form to our process. So come back to operate, and here we can see that our process went further. The next step worked our EasyRPA connector that start process of extracting data. Here you can see that then this data EasyRPA connector get from her data store, and using this data, candidate data, EasyRPA connector created documents using templates. So I would like to show you just a moment modeler. More details about connector. For example, we just a moment. We here in this action, in this point, in the block of details, you can see that to use this connector is very easy. We only give to our system some properties to integrate, and then our connector start working. On the EasyRPA platform, it looks like here. For example, just a moment, I started the project, the process 5994 on this date, and status of the project just completed. So we come back to our operate to show you next point, next steps of the process. So also these actions must created by EasyRPA connector, And then next step that Camunda using SendGrid connector send to our candidate next email that said about new information to our candidate. So you can see on the screen in our mailbox next email. In this email, we say candidate next steps, what he or she must do, and open it. It is open and print documents, sign the documents, and scan and upload signed documents, and send original documents by post, for example. And then candidate go to the link of, and in this web form, the candidate should have signed document and add this document to this web form. Okay, for example, I choose this file. For example, it will be a contract with candidates. We choose this contract and we will send the documents in our process. Come back to the operate. We can see that the next point, the next step in our process is sub-processes to getting signed documents. In these sub-processes, there are two tasks that we see on the screen. First of all, the system gets signed documents from the form from a candidate. And the second point, HR must check all its documents okay or something went wrong. And so in this moment, Camunda create in their task list the task for HR. You can see on the screen component of Camunda task list. And here we can see this task that we just created. So we assign this task to me, like I am HR. I check these documents, all is okay, or is something not okay. And I, for example, check this, okay, and I complete this task. If something went wrong, so I would like to show you in the modeler. If something went wrong, then during our process, we come back to some steps behind, and then also the Camunda repeated these steps in our diagram. So we ask to the process that all documents is okay, and we will go to the next on our flow to the next step. You can see that in the line we can see that the instance of the process go further. Next steps. Also, our EtherPay connector recognize document type. It's contract, it's PPK, it's something else. Then EtherPay import candidate data to corporate system. In our case, it was Lotus Notes, because in Lotus our customers have a lot of databases for employees. And then EtherPay create access requires in this a lot of databases. For example, create request to get some equipment for candidate, to get some access to databases, to get some access to project, etc. And then next step, Camunda using SendGrid connector send welcome letter to the candidate. It's also very easy. You can see, for example, in modeler that to use this SendGrid connector, you must only give to the Camunda some properties in areas of details. So you can see is not very big properties that we must show the receiver, email address from we send to the candidate, and create the body of our email to a candidate. So come back to the operate. So we will here on this step. Camunda sent to our candidate the welcome letter So we will check it in our box. So we can see here the next email to the candidate, and this mail we ask the candidate learned some lecture about safety training. So and the candidate will go to the link and you can hear and learn some lesson about safety and health, and then check. Okay, and send this that he made this task, and then in the operate you can see also that this sub-process is completely, and you can see that our instance go to the endpoint, onboarding completed. In our task, in this process, we use some rules that, for example, when the candidate didn't learn this lesson, so we send you kindly reminder that, dear candidate, you have a task, please go to the link, and then you complete your onboarding process. So, in this, Camunda gives us a lot of possibility to see this process runtime, running of our process. And here there are a lot of possibility to monitoring this process in real life. And also you can see that task list modeler we use during our process. And there are in the Camunda has a very valuable for business tool. This is like Optimize that show you some analytics, statistics during the process. You can get from this tool some reports of your processes, and analyze this information. We can improve our process. We can see bottlenecks of the process, etc. Alex, over to you.
Thank you, Maria. So it is really hard to ask any question after the beautiful demo and before the lunch. So basically, let me maybe give some experience of what I see. Of course, when I was onboarded to IBA Group, there was nothing like this, but long time ago, it was before COVID, it was a long time ago. But I did some form of onboarding when I moved to Poland, so it was a really interesting experience, especially when we have a lot of documentations here in Poland to be completed, done, and all the other stuff. And we see some of our, not a big customers, but still use some of the onboarding processes with the training and some applications so that they need to get things learned. And yeah, Maria, thank you very much for your time, for the time you spent preparing the demo, because demo speaks for itself. We have questions.
Hello, Maria. Thank you for the speech and the presentation demo. It was kind of without surprises,
yeah.
so it went good. One more question. We didn't describe, no one mentioned about forms that Camunda 8 has, forms generator.
Yeah.
And as I saw in your demo, you use forms and aggregating data, etc., etc. And from the point of view as a Camunda expert and as I understand analytic
Yes.
with your experience, without any technical background, you can use Camunda now to manage process and without, you know, pinging developers, hey, add the labels, some label here in the form, you can manage all the process yourself. Do
Yes.
I understand it correctly?
Yes, yes, you right. Understand. In Camunda Modeler, use BPMN standard. That standard is very useful, very understandable for all members of the process, for business and for IT. And we start working with some processes. We create the diagram, and then using these blocks in this BPMN language, BPMN standard, it's very understandable for all members. Of course, sometimes we maybe, if not enough experience in development, in engineering, maybe some people need some help for give some variables of actions of to give some properties to the system. But there are a lot of documentation by Camunda, and it's very easy to understand what we must do in this process, in this moment, in these actions. So it's easy.
I see that Easy RPA helps you a lot with
yes, yes, Easy RPA help us with human task, because we know that HR have a lot of routines tasks, yeah, and this task can be automated. Thank you.
So, thank you again. Thank you all who made it to the end of this. And I hope to see you back maybe in a year, maybe in a more comfortable time, in a bigger audience. So, thank you.
Thank you.
And hope to see you again.